What's up guys? Today I'm going to be running through my tracking session I had with the band Gunk. In this video, I'm going to be explaining each part of the process and talking about my mic choices, miking techniques, and preamp pairings I chose. So a challenge I faced with this session was that the band all wanted to be in the same room during the recording. They were filming a video for themselves and they decided that it would look better if they were all together. So that meant for me that I would have them all standing in the live room with their cords running to their amps in the ISO booths where they were mic'd. So the first thing I did during this session was mic the drums. So as you could see when I was laying on the ground there, I put the PZM mic inside the porthole of the drum. I have it facing the batter head, and then I pair that with the EV RE20, just kind of in the middle of the resonant head. I combine those two mics. I really like the way they sound together for the kick drum, and then I EQ the RE20 a lot of the highs so it gets a lot of that attack. I then put two MD421s on the rack and floor tom. Those mics are just great on toms. And then the SM57 for the snare and also another SM57 for the hi-hat, which I love miking the hi-hat so you can actually adjust the level of it and not just like rely on the overheads for it. And then this right here is just a shot of all of the drum mics. For the overheads, I got a spaced pair pattern going of the Neumann KM81s. Those microphones are very sheer and I love that for the cymbals. We got the U87 as a room mic. I also have this set to Omni so I can not only use it as a room mic but then also hear the band talking to me, which is very important to be able to hear what the performer is saying to you. So the next thing I did was mic the bass amp. So I did both a DI and a mic on the amp. I'll do this just in case one of them ends up clipping or something during a take. That way I have both, and also just blending those two sounds together to also sound really well. I use the Beta 52 on this. That microphone is great for a bass amp. It is very punchy, and also the frequency response has a dip around 400 Hertz so it doesn't get muddy, which is why I love that microphone. So the next thing I did was mic the guitar amp. I got the SM57 pointed kind of to the left of the cone, and then I have the AKG 214s in an XY pattern. I have those for a stereo image, which is why they're a little bit back from the amp. And then here's a little zoomed out shot of that whole situation. There was also a line out on the back of this amp. I have that DI'd straight into the wall as well, just see how that sounds. And then this is my final mic setup. This is the U87 for vocals, pop filter in the vocal booth. And then here I am starting to get patching on everything. So for the preamps, usually I will experiment a little bit, but for this session I knew what sound I was going for. So I did the kick, snare, and the overheads all going through the UA, and then I had that on the tube setting because I like how warm that is. And then for the toms, for the preamps, I just used the Focusrites. It was the Sennheiser MD421, so those usually always sound good. I then have the room mic, which is the U87. I have that going into the Daking one, which is the Portico. I love that preamp because of the silk feature at the bottom. So next for the bass, I ran both the DI and the Beta 52. Those are going into the Manley. I love that preamp because it's tube and it sounds warm. And then finally for the guitar, I have every microphone going into a Vintech preamp. I also ran the snare drum through a Neve compressor too, so you can see me patching that in. And then finally, here's a little video of me just setting levels while they're playing drums. And then here is a clip from the actual tracking.